star of a picture show.
My name is Brian Crawley. I'm the book writer and lyricist of Violet.
My name is Jeanine Tesori. I'm the composer of Violet the musical.
I grew up in the it's not the middle, I guess it's a third of the way across. I grew up in Cincinnati. So every time we did anything, we had to drive for a long time. We drove to my uncle's house in Atlanta. We'd drive to a grandmother in Detroit. We'd drive to Colorado to go on vacation. We'd drive to Florida to the other grandma. Lots of long trips. And for me, the experience of the thing was having the four of us, my sister and myself and my parents, would have a turn on the radio. So you'd all have an hour where you got to choose, and we'd get a break from what was making us crazy about the other person's choice. And there would be places in the country where there wasn't a lot of choice, so you'd end up listening to a station that you might not choose in Cincinnati, but in the middle of Kansas, and it's like, well, this is the best one we have, so we listen to that. So that's my experience of a cross-country trip, is like traveling through different musical zones.
Mama, your book says it's blessed a pity. Mama, just look, I'm a long ways from pretty. Be an angel, Mama, help to save me. Make the Lord restore the face you gave me, and I will praise His grace, rain or shine.
And part of this piece is, recognizing right away, just reading the part of the excitement beyond the initial one is, yes, that really strong main character, and then the secondary thing is like, wow, it travels through the country. So she starts in North Carolina, which is where the folk music tradition is really alive, and especially even more so in the 60s. And then it goes to Nashville, where you've got all the country music, centered. And then it goes to Memphis, which is, a hotbed of blues and rhythm and blues and rock and roll and all that stuff. And then she ends up traveling to a preacher. We had these different musical styles just almost implicit in the material, and that was exciting.
Won't you be surprised? Won't you be surprised? Won't you be surprised? Won't you be going for?
There are two ways to go. I mean, there are more than two, but I'm going to do that artificial two division. Like when you're writing a musical, either you can be a person that has a style, and that regardless of what the setting is, you're going to write in that style. Mm-hmm. That's kind of the Lloyd Webber thing a little bit. Mm-hmm. Or you can decide, like, what is the story, and find the music from the story. So
I think that's exactly it. It's exactly it. There's either your style that you decide it's being filtered through, or their style that you're allowing the audience to hear. And both are valid. I'm interested in the latter because I have a lot of musicologist in me, and because my training was all over the map, and I love what I love, and what I love is just absolutely in the spectrum of music. I don't like Balkan singing, but there's very little that, only because I don't like that, but there's very little I don't love.
This precious little really folks like us control, but you can make your music from the simplest thing, and you're the one has got to tend your soul. You got to give it room and let it sing.
The music is a lot of science, and it's all intervallic, and there's a lot of math, and then there's this other part. I think it's, in a way, it's like cooking. You can follow a recipe, you can do a formula, and then there's a point as a great chef where you think, who am I? And what makes this different? My experience, how I taste and smell and see the world. And I think that's what we're trying to do as well. There's a musical that no one else would write this way. No one would choose a source material. I mean, how many people would choose a source material of a girl in the 60s who's scarred to get on a bus to go to Tulsa?
You gotta give it room and let